at Dunkin' the other day getting coffee, and I saw my cup had this beautiful image. You're going to see it popping on your screen. It was their advertising. It was cheersin'. Hey, 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 cheersin'. I'm cheersin' to you. I'm cheersin' to you. And I thought, well, that's cool. It's slang, cheersin'. And then I looked at it. I'm like, is it cheersin' or is it cheersin'? Now, that may seem kind of funny, but, like I was thinking, this is the subliminal messaging, and it is telling us the world, the powers of the nine are telling us to cheer for sin. Obviously, I'm pretty certain that Dunkin' Donuts didn't do that, though one never knows. However, they probably didn't. However, it is something where we see quite often that the world, and let's not even just blame this generic world, let's blame people and blame ourselves, are often trying to force people, one another, into cheering for sin by saying that wrong is right, by pushing us into two very distinct camps, and you feel boxed in. So to make that point, we found this meme, Greg's going to pop it up on your screen right now, where Colin Kaepernick was a photo of Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the national anthem, and then the rioter sitting in the president of the Senate's chair a couple of days ago in the Capitol. And for those who don't know the story, I'm sure you all do. Indulge me if I go through it. But Colin Kaepernick knelt for the national anthem a few years ago in an NFL game, causing great uproar. His goal, I think, was to begin discussions for racial equality or to talk about inequality, whatever his thing was. But it caused a great uproar, and it divided people because, the truth of it was that people say, well, we needed to discuss these race issues, and others say, you never kneel for the national anthem, find another way, and all that kind of stuff. And it was tense. I'm sure you remember that. And obviously, the other half of the meme that, the rioter in the Senate, like I laugh because it's like, those are the things of a Jack Ryan movie. Like, it's just, that's not real. That's in the TV, but here we go. And the statement of the meme was, if you think that Colin Kaepernick's protest was worse than the rioters' protest, then you are part of the problem. And as I thought about it, I was like, well, I mean, I understand the point of the meme, but I bet somebody's saying the exact opposite. And sure enough, we found this out there. Someone created this, on the interwebs, where they took the meme and they flipped it. And so now it's that if you think that this protest or riot, whatever, in the Senate is worse than Colin Kaepernick kneeling against the flag, then you are part of the problem, or you are the problem, whatever it says. And I was thinking a lot about this, and I thought, like, what we're being forced to do is to choose between this and this. It's the decision has become an or decision. I'm either for this or I'm for that, but I have to be somehow boxed in corners. Do you understand? And what they've done, whoever, again, the world, the nine, us, we've allowed it to happen, is that we are being forced to split apart into one side or the other. And you can hear inherent and embedded in that language itself is going to be division, one side or the other. And we find ourselves having to say things like, well, I don't want to be deemed a racist, so I have to condemn the rioter in the Senate. And the other side, well, I don't want to be, deemed as this archaic, stupid social justice warrior, whatever minded person, so I have to condemn Colin Kaepernick. And we're being forced to say this is wrong or this is wrong. And what happens when we cheer for sin, we fall directly under the condemnation of Holy Scripture. Look, it's not okay for us ever. Now we're going to focus on our lesson. These examples lead us into the right lesson, is that, look, it's not okay to ever say that wrong is right. And this is not a new problem that you and I are facing today. It's a problem that has gone on since the beginning of time. And we hear directly, I want to read to you, and you'll see them on your screen, a couple of verses from Holy Scripture. In his epistle to the Romans, the Apostle Paul says the following. Now, this is the first chapter, and he starts after the Roman Christians right away, like he's going right after him. He makes his introduction, talks about the gospel and Jesus Christ, and then boom, he goes against people who are sinning. And he says, though they know God's decree that those who do such things deserve to die, They not only do them, but approve those who practice them. Paul is like really adamantly saying, like, look, what? Like, not only do they do the sins, but they approve them and they applaud them. They say that wrong is right. And Paul's having no part of this. We also hear him again come back to this in a different epistle, the epistle to the Ephesians in the 5th chapter. He's talking, and this is right before he gets into marriage, the conversation about marriage, which is beautiful. He's talking about how we should live our lives, in what manner. And he says the following. So listen to these words. Let there be no filthiness, nor silly talk, nor levity, which are not fitting. But instead, let there be thanksgiving. So he's telling us, like, look, be thankful to the Lord for all of your blessings. Be sure of this, that no fornicator or impure man or one who is covetous, that is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. So anybody who's like sinning crazily, we've got to get ourselves together or there's no inheritance in the kingdom. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for it is because of these things that the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience. Therefore, do not associate with them. For once you were darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. And listen to these beautiful closing verses. For the fruit of light is found in all that is good and true and right. And try to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. That's Ephesians chapter 5, verses 4 and following. And in that, we hear Paul saying to us, like, look, it is for us to expose sin, not to approve any sin. And when we allow ourselves to be boxed into one side or the other side, we are forced, we've allowed ourselves to have to choose one over the other, because that's just how it's played today, right? Like, I can't be for this, so I have to be for that. And the question then is, are we approving sinful things? I think you all know the answer is obviously we have all chosen to justify things that are not justifiable. We have all chosen in our lives to condemn things that are not worthy of condemning, and we've allowed things and permitted things that are absolutely worth condemnation because we felt so boxed in by the word or. I have to be here or there. I can't be both. And I was thinking about it. As we go back to reflecting on that meme, if you think this is worse than that, then you're part of the problem both ways. And I was thinking about it. They're both right because they're both wrong. And what I mean by that, and here's the point of the lesson today, is instead of living an or life, can we not live an and life? Can I not say that what that rioter or those rioters in the Capitol did a few days ago is absolutely abhorrent? I can. It's wrong. And can I not also say that kneeling for the national anthem, no matter how much your voice wanted to get out there, is wrong? Absolutely. I have the ability to say that wrong things are wrong. I don't have to allow myself to be forced to pick between two wrongs, right? Like, one of the things that makes me think we've often said in the last how many elections, presidential elections, well, he's better than she's better than him. It's the lesser of two evils. Well, wait, what? Like, that's what we've come to? And we've allowed ourselves to be forced into a decision about or. What if we started living an and life, where I could say, hey, there is good in this and there's good in that. And conversely, this is wrong and that is also wrong. So now what I'm doing is exposing sin, as St. Paul asks us to, no matter whether it's on one side or the other, because ultimately it's sin. Do you not follow that? I mean, it's pretty simple. I know that it's simple, and yet I know that it's very difficult for us because we're all doing it. I mean, myself included, we're all doing it. I mean, it's what's happening now. So I throw these things out there for us. The meme that we started with, just as an idea to push in our mind to start thinking and recognizing, look, I don't have to say that wrong is right just to maintain, the safety of being on my own team. You understand? I'm not really interested in what team you're on. Be on whatever team you want to be. It doesn't make any difference to me. If you're not on the Lakers, it's the wrong team anyways. All of that to say, you can still be on your team and expose evil and do right by living an and life. So the question is, how do I do that? I'm glad you asked. The simple answer is that by being a warrior saint. This is where we ask you all to visit us at warriorsaints.org. We have a lesson in our video library. Let me talk for just a brief moment. The way of the warrior saint is a huge and growing library of videos, teachings. They're very fun. Our editor is great. He does a fabulous job. And they are teaching us how to live a life that we call crucifixional, being crucifixional. And you ask, well, what does that mean? Crucifixional means to imitate Christ's cross, right? So what does that mean? It means to live a sacrificial life for the sake of other, for the sake of the right thing, for the sake of success. It means that we put ourselves aside so that we might focus elsewhere. And when we do that, combined with hard work and the grace of God, we find that we are conquering monsters. These videos, these instructional videos teach us how to do that in our lives. One of them is called the and life, right? I mean, we called it that because we talked about this long ago before it even popped up today and all of the stuff that we found today with those memes. The idea is that the and life is giving us an opportunity to not fall on either side, but to do the right thing in all things. So the way of the warrior saint will help us learn how to do all of these things, how to be crucifixional. If I can quote cite the Roman Catholics, the imitatio Christi, right? To imitate the Lord, Christ. All of that to say, it's so fun and it's so awesome and it's growing every day. I really can't thank you beautiful people enough. Join us. It's really simple. All you have to do is visit warriorsaints.org and follow along. It's all clear. It's all right there. Once you subscribe, you have access to the entire library. It's not that you start today, go forward. You can go all the way back to video 1 and watch each one of them 100 times if you so choose. You have full access, unlimited, to see these videos. The cool part about it is it's $8. And it's funny because it's like $8 a month. I took my girls to Starbucks the other day, last week, and they ordered whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce whatever they ordered. And the two of them, it was like $9.52 for whatever the heck they drank. I was like, dude, how is everyone not doing this? Like, I just blew $10 in a minute at Starbucks, and we're talking about, quibbling over $8 a month. It's just, anyways, all of that to say, we'd love to invite you to join us on the way of the Warrior Saint. So just visit warriorsaints.org. Follow along. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And you know what? We're going to make a difference in this world. I appreciate all of you beautiful people. We will be back with you tomorrow. Remember, please do all the things to help us out here as we grow. Like the video. If you like it, click like. We'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. And also, please don't hesitate to share us with your friends. We're totally appreciate that, so that more and more people can see the teachings of the gospel and how to live a crucifixional life. Love you, beautiful people. See you tomorrow. And until then, keep walking on the way.